Avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, is a serious concern for global health. This contagious virus primarily affects birds, but it can also infect humans. One particularly worrisome strain is H5N1. It has caused significant outbreaks in poultry farms worldwide. Bird flu is a constant threat to the poultry industry. Outbreaks can lead to the deaths of thousands of birds. This has a direct impact on food supplies and economies. The risk of bird flu jumping from birds to humans is a major worry. While human infections are rare, they can be deadly. Understanding how bird flu spreads and how to protect ourselves is critical. We must all be vigilant in the face of this emerging health threat. The recent surge in H5N1 cases is alarming. It reminds us that infectious diseases can emerge unexpectedly. We live in an interconnected world where a virus outbreak in one part can quickly become a global crisis. It is a stark reminder of the importance of public health preparedness. Bird flu, particularly the H5N1 strain, spreads easily among birds. Direct contact with infected birds is a primary mode of transmission. This includes contact with their saliva, nasal secretions, and feces. The virus can also spread indirectly. Birds can pick up the virus from contaminated surfaces. This includes cages, food, and water sources. Migratory birds play a significant role in spreading bird flu. They can carry the virus over long distances. This introduces the virus to new areas, including domestic poultry farms. The movement of infected birds across borders poses a challenge for disease control efforts. Once bird flu enters a poultry farm, it can spread rapidly through the flock. The close proximity of birds in these settings facilitates transmission. The virus can also survive for extended periods in the environment, especially in cool, humid conditions. This makes containment a challenging task. Controlling the spread of bird flu, especially the highly contagious H5N1 strain, requires swift and decisive action. Culling, which involves the humane euthanizing of infected and potentially exposed birds, is the primary method of containment. While culling is a drastic measure, it is often necessary to prevent the further spread of the virus. It helps to protect both animal and human health. Culling infected flocks quickly can prevent a localized outbreak from becoming a widespread epidemic. Culling has significant economic implications, particularly for the poultry industry. The loss of thousands of birds can devastate farmers and disrupt the food supply chain. Governments often provide financial assistance to farmers affected by culling measures. Beyond culling, biosecurity measures are crucial in preventing and controlling bird flu outbreaks. These include restricting access to poultry farms, disinfecting equipment and vehicles, and implementing strict hygiene protocols for workers. Early detection of the virus is also vital. Farmers must be vigilant in monitoring their flocks for any signs of illness and report suspected cases to veterinary authorities immediately. While bird flu primarily affects birds, it is a zoonotic disease, meaning it can transmit from animals to humans. The H5N1 strain in particular poses a potential pandemic threat. However, human infections are relatively rare. Most human cases of H5N1 bird flu have been linked to close contact with infected birds, either live or dead. This includes handling infected poultry, exposure to contaminated surfaces, and even inhaling droplets containing the virus. Certain groups face a higher risk of infection, such as poultry workers, veterinarians, and people living near areas with outbreaks in birds. People with weakened immune systems are also more susceptible to severe illness if infected. It's important to note that sustained human-to-human transmission of H5N1 is rare. There have been very few documented cases of the virus spreading from one person to another. However, the possibility of the virus mutating and acquiring the ability to spread easily between humans is a constant concern. Section 5. Recognizing the signs. Symptoms of bird flu in humans. Knowing the symptoms of bird flu in humans is crucial for early detection and treatment. Symptoms typically appear within 2 to 8 days after exposure to the virus. They can range from mild to severe, resembling those of seasonal flu. Common symptoms include fever, cough, sore throat, muscle aches, and headache. Some people may also experience conjunctivitis, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea. In severe cases, bird flu can lead to life-threatening complications, such as pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and multiple organ failure. It is important to seek immediate medical attention if you suspect you may have bird flu. especially if you have recently been in contact with birds or traveled to an area with an outbreak. Early diagnosis and treatment are vital for improving the chances of survival. Antiviral medications, such as oseltamivir, are effective in reducing the severity and duration of illness if administered promptly. Section 6. What to do if you suspect bird flu. Diagnosis and treatment options. If you suspect you might have bird flu, it's crucial to act quickly. Seek immediate medical attention. Early diagnosis and treatment are essential for a positive outcome. Inform your doctor about any recent contact with birds or travel to areas with bird flu outbreaks. Diagnosing bird flu involves laboratory testing. Your doctor will take a sample of your respiratory secretions, usually through a nasal or throat swab. This sample is then analyzed to detect the presence of the virus. Treatment typically involves antiviral medications, such as oseltamivir. These medications work by blocking the virus from replicating in the body. Starting antivirals as soon as possible after symptom onset is crucial for their effectiveness. In severe cases, hospitalization might be necessary. Patients might require respiratory support, such as oxygen therapy or mechanical ventilation. Supportive care, including intravenous fluids and medications to manage symptoms, is also provided. Section 7. Shielding yourself from bird flu. Preventive measures for everyone. While the risk of contracting bird flu is generally low for most people, taking preventive measures is essential, especially during outbreaks. Simple steps can significantly reduce your risk of infection. Avoid direct contact with birds, both wild and domestic, particularly in areas experiencing outbreaks. If you must handle birds, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including gloves, a mask, and protective clothing. Practice good hand hygiene. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water, especially after handling birds, visiting live poultry markets, or touching surfaces that may be contaminated. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not readily available. Ensure poultry and eggs are cooked thoroughly to an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Proper cooking kills the virus, making food safe for consumption. Avoid consuming raw or undercooked poultry products. Section 8. Safeguarding our food supply. Strategies for poultry producers. Poultry producers play a crucial role in preventing and controlling bird flu outbreaks. Implementing strict biosecurity measures on farms is paramount. This includes restricting access to poultry houses, controlling the movement of people and vehicles, and maintaining a clean and sanitary environment. Farmers should monitor their flocks closely for any signs of illness, such as decreased appetite, lethargy, reduced egg production, or sudden death. Any suspected cases of bird flu should be reported immediately to veterinary authorities. Vaccination is another important tool in protecting poultry from bird flu. Vaccines can reduce the severity of outbreaks and decrease virus shedding, thereby slowing the spread of the disease. Poultry producers should have contingency plans in place to respond swiftly and effectively in the event of an outbreak. This includes procedures for isolating infected birds, culling infected flocks, and disinfecting affected premises. Section 9. The ripple effect. Economic fallout from bird flu outbreaks. Bird flu outbreaks can have devastating economic consequences, impacting various sectors of the economy. The poultry industry is often the hardest hit. Outbreaks can lead to mass culling of birds, resulting in significant financial losses for farmers and poultry businesses. The reduced supply of poultry products, such as chicken and eggs, can drive up prices, impacting consumers and businesses that rely on these products. This can lead to inflation and disrupt food supply chains. Tourism and trade can also be affected by bird flu outbreaks. Countries experiencing outbreaks might face travel restrictions or bans on poultry imports, impacting their economies. Governments often incur substantial costs in responding to bird flu outbreaks. This includes costs associated with disease surveillance, culling and disposal of infected birds, cleaning and disinfection of affected premises, and providing financial assistance to affected farmers. Section 10. The future of bird flu. Ongoing challenges and emerging threats. Bird flu, particularly the H5N1 strain, continues to pose a significant threat to global health. The virus is constantly evolving, and new strains with pandemic potential can emerge at any time. One of the biggest challenges is the potential for the virus to mutate and acquire the ability to spread efficiently from human to human. If this were to happen, it could trigger a global pandemic with devastating consequences. Another challenge is the control of bird flu in wild bird populations. Migratory birds can carry the virus over long distances, making it difficult to track and control its spread. Developing effective vaccines and antiviral medications remains a priority. However, the constantly evolving nature of the virus makes it challenging to stay ahead of new strains. International collaboration and surveillance are crucial for monitoring the spread of bird flu and responding effectively to outbreaks. Sharing information and resources between countries is essential for containing the virus and preventing future pandemics. Section 11. The importance of global cooperation, a united front against bird flu. The fight against bird flu, particularly the H5N1 strain, is not a battle any single country can win alone. It requires a coordinated global effort, with countries working together to share information, resources, and expertise. International organizations, such as the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, play a crucial role in coordinating global surveillance and response efforts. Strengthening veterinary services in developing countries is particularly important. These countries often lack the resources and infrastructure to effectively monitor and control bird flu outbreaks, making them more vulnerable to the economic and health impacts of the virus. Investing in research and development is crucial for developing new and improved vaccines, antiviral medications, and diagnostic tools. Sharing research findings and technological advancements will help accelerate progress in combating the virus. By working together and sharing the responsibility for bird flu prevention and control, we can protect global health, safeguard our food supply, and build a safer future for all.